Tropical Storm Fiona is moving into the Caribbean Sea. Hi, I'm Mike Naso with this late night Friday, early Saturday video update for you night owls tracking the hurricanes out there. It's not a hurricane yet, but it is getting stronger. It moved over Guadeloupe, and it looks like it will become a hurricane down the road, but not before impacting Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, and potentially the Turks, Caicos, and the Bahamas, although the track is still uncertain. We have another feature, this frontal low north of Bermuda that we're watching, which could do something, or at the very least break down the ridging to the north of Fiona, which could have implications on its track. We also have this system out here in the central Atlantic looking very naked like most of them have this year, but that could develop as it moves out to sea. I'm actually more concerned with this decent tropical wave here at about 30 west and 10 north, and then another wave leaving Africa behind it. They're the ones that hold together better and move further south are definitely, like Fiona, the threats further down the line. So we're going to watch these waves. Not a lot of model support, but we are in the heart of hurricane season. Here's the latest on Fiona as of 11 p.m. Atlantic time. It was at 16.6 north, 62.2 west, winds up to 60. We had a wind gust to 44 miles an hour in Antigua, and we are having tropical storm conditions in the northern islands right now. It's moving west at 14, about 1,002 millibars, and that forecast track does have it moving south of Puerto Rico, and then on Sunday ending up very near making landfall in the Dominican Republic. And that could have a lot of weakening of tropical cyclones in the past, but if this is not a hurricane, and if it's kind of moving, skirting the northern coast, Fiona might not be that badly impacted, and then becoming a hurricane by Tuesday and Wednesday somewhere in the vicinity of the area north of Haiti and the Dominican and near the Turks and Caicos Islands. Again, the track could be on the northern edge, especially if it strengthens quicker over Puerto Rico and then more headed for Bermuda. It could be on the southern edge, more in the Caribbean Sea, over Haiti, and then more towards eastern Cuba and areas of the Bahamas. Right now, the thinking is somewhere in the middle, and the models seem to be in better agreement today. We do have a tropical storm warning for Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, Anguilla, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, Guadeloupe, St. Barthélemy, as well as Puerto Rico, including Vieques and Culebra, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, the south coast of the Dominican Republic, as well as the north coast of the Dominican, and a tropical storm watch for Dominica and the south coast of the Dominican Republic as well, all with the expectation that Fiona is going to bring this wind field over areas there of the greater Antilles. Now here's the computer model guidance, the spaghetti plots, and they generally seem in agreement that this thing's going to move west, then west-northwest, then northwest, then north. And most of them do show it turning between Cape Hatteras and Bermuda, although pretty close to Bermuda there in the longer range. However, until we see strengthening for sure, this is going to end up more on the western edge of this. So if you are in the Bahamas and the East Coast, keep an eye on it, although right now I don't think it's going to impact the United States. There's just too much breakdown of the ridge to the north, especially if it strengthens the way we're thinking. It could be a very powerful hurricane, but not near America. There's the latest infrared satellite imagery. Very deep convection, heavy rainfall for some of these islands, and even though the center moved over Guadeloupe and it's kind of in the Caribbean Sea here, it's trying to blow up more over the center, still has a rather disheveled appearance as it's still undergoing wind shear, and that is unfavorable. But some of these converging rain bands here on the back end of the tropical storm will continue to rain like mad over the islands, all the way from areas of Dominica all the way further north to the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is the Gfs model, and you can see it brings Fiona as a hurricane just north of Hispaniola, and then strengthens it like crazy. 937 millibars, a category 3 or 4, but makes an abrupt turn there north of Bermuda. And we wouldn't have to deal with it. You can see it was a track like that, and that's because of the breakdown of the ridging. This is the HWRF model, which takes it as a hurricane very, very close to areas there of Puerto Rico and the Dominican, and then north of the islands of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and then towards being out to sea. So the HWRF, the Canadian model, the GFS, they all seem in pretty good agreement. The Euro's a little further west, but they're all indicating once it leaves Hispaniola, it's going to really start to move northward, poleward, as they say. Here's the radar out of the Guadalupe area, and there's the center of circulation. You can see the center of Fiona, and these are the rain bands I mentioned to the east of the center, but you can see it does have a well-defined center of circulation moving on about 50 miles or so to the west of the island of Guadalupe right here, this butterfly-shaped island. There's the wind shear. You can see it even better on this map. Right there, cutting into Fiona. That's why this system is not stronger. If it did not have this wind shear, it would probably be a hurricane or a stronger hurricane, although that might have allowed it to move further north, so it might not even be impacting land had it been stronger. However, it is expected to take a track like that, so if you are in areas of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, get ready for the rainfall, because that's the main threat. The key messages: number one, tropical storm conditions are going to continue to affect portions of the Leeward Islands through Saturday morning, and that's going to spread westward across the U.S. and British Virgin Islands Saturday, Puerto Rico into Saturday night, and tropical storm conditions are possible over Dominica overnight. Number two, as I mentioned, the heavy rains are beginning in the Leeward Islands, and that's going to spread into the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico Saturday, reaching the Dominican Republic on Sunday, and then Haiti, the Turks, Caicos. Areas like that could have considerable flood impacts, including flash and urban flooding, along with mudslides in areas of higher terrain, especially in Hispaniola. They're very, very susceptible to that. I remember back in 2004 when I was about 16 years old, Hurricane Jeanne killed 3,000 people as it wreaked havoc along Hispaniola. Even though it was a major hurricane in Florida, it was a Category 1 down in Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, but the rainfall was very deadly. Number three, Fiona is expected to strengthen gradually in the Northeast Caribbean. It could be near hurricane strength as it heads towards the Dominican on Sunday afternoon. A tropical storm warning has been issued, and we could see additional watches and warnings. We'll probably see a hurricane watch because Fiona could be near hurricane strength. And number four, it is forecast to strengthen after moving across eastern Hispaniola, and interest in the Turks and Caicos and the southeast Bahamas should continue to monitor the forecast as it looks like it's going to get very, very close as a hurricane. So that's the latest on Fiona, and again, looking a little more lively. That convection's really trying. You can see at the beginning of this loop, watch this little naked swirl right in there, where I just circled with the white pen. Watch right in there, that swirl. And then boom, the convection kind of catches up to it, but it is still disheveled because of that wind shear that I talked about, and so it has a very odd shape. But a lot of these rain bands are going to bring heavy rain. With rainfall, it doesn't matter the strength of the system, it matters how fast it's moving, and this isn't moving fast enough to where in those higher terrains you won't have heavy rain, so you got to be very, very careful. Lester, Tropical Storm Lester out in the eastern Pacific, winds of 40 moving northwest at 12. It's at 14.8 north, 97.8 west. It is looking like it's going to make landfall sometime tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, evening, as a tropical storm. We have a tropical storm warning in effect for the Mexican coastline all the way over to areas of Zihuatanejo, because it is forecast to bring tropical storm winds in this little area right along the coastline, although looking on the water vapor imagery, it's not looking all that great, so that's good news there. It's not a strong system. Still looking like a landfall in Mexico, so we're going to keep an eye on that. The main focus, obviously, is going to be Tropical Storm Fiona. For the islands, batten down the hatches. It's going to be very gusty winds, very heavy rainfall. It's going to take a little while to move on out. After that, it's St. Croix, Vieques, and Culebra, Puerto Rico, and then the Dominican Republic. And it looks like a track something like that is forecast. Beyond that, it's looking better, like it will turn, but it could still impact the Turks, Caicos, Bahamas, Bermuda, and we cannot rule out yet an East Coast strike, although that's looking less and less likely through time. I'm Mike Naso with the latest on Tropical Storm Fiona. Stay tuned to the IPR YouTube page for further updates.